along with the sound, how would you describe your lyrics? Like, what would you say some of the lyrical content is on this?
I always say about my lyrics, I guess the general theme everyone seems to come up with reading them is kind of internal strife of some kind. There's all sorts in there that I write about, some sort of political stuff and some about my beliefs and whatever else, but to be honest, I kind of leave it pretty open. I don't think I'll ever really explain my lyrics, especially not in the near future, because I figure that the way when I listen to music, I mean, I listen to, like, let's say Killswitch Engage. I'll listen to a certain Killswitch Engage song, and I'll think, oh, that reminds me of when this happened to me, or whatever. But I'm guessing that Howard's probably not talking anything like what I'm, my situation, where I'll apply it to. So I try and leave them as vague as possible and as open as possible, so when people listen to the lyrics, they can take their own thing on it. If someone's gone through a breakup and one of our songs happens to fit that, then fine. I mean, it's not about that probably, but if it fits them, then I think they'll get more out of it than they would do if I was to say, this is about when this happened to me. No one really cares what happened to me. Everyone cares about what happened to themselves, so I kind of leave it open for interpretation.
Right, that's like a big key thing that I always kind of respect about lyrics like that. Like you said, open to interpretation so that people can take what they want from it. And I think
exactly, yeah. I figure, like, lyrics it's like poetry. If you take away the music, it's just words. And I always remember in high school there was studying English. There was a poet, and he wrote this really great poem, and then everyone broke it down. Our English teacher broke it down, and we came up with this massive concept of what it was about and everything like that. And I was thinking, it's about whatever. And anyway, we went down to this poetry reading seminar or whatever, and this guy there reads the poem and he says, "Okay, cool. Any questions?" And we told him our theory and what it was about, and he just laughed and he said, "No, it's about flowers." It doesn't matter what it's about to him. It's whatever people take out of it.
Let's go back a little bit. This band formed in 2002. Where you weren't always the vocalist, is that correct?
Yeah, no, I've only been in it since I think it was 2006. The band started off playing a lot of Finnish metal. There was an old vocalist, I can't remember his name, but it was like more screaming and covering Finnish bands and writing their own songs around the same sort of style. And then, it's about 2006 we decided, let's take a different approach to this. We kind of done that for long enough and figured, they wanted to move on. And started auditioning singers, and then that's where I came in and joined the band.
And did you guys get signed to Roadrunner around that time as well?
Well, I came over in November. I think we got signed in June, July the next year. So it was pretty quick turnaround in the whole scheme of things. But the Roadrunner had been interested in the band for about a year previous to that as well. They saw him playing with the band 3 Inches of Blood. The A&R guy was there for them and saw my band play, and was really impressed with the way the band played and acted on stage. So he kept talking to him, and then when I got in the fold, the style changed quite dramatically because I was into totally different influences, and everything just kind of evolved in a different way. And it really put the label's ears up. They heard it and they loved it. So we spent 9 months writing all these demos and sending them to the label, and then they'd be like, "No, this is cool, this isn't cool." And coming out to see us live, giving us advice on our live show and how to work on it. And they really helped us out. Actually, my guitar especially was the A&R guy who he'd come out to every single show, and at the end of the show would come off stage and says, "All right, you guys suck tonight." And then we know he'd make us work really hard, and he really pushed us, so it really helped out.
That's pretty sweet, always having like a driving force there.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, the driving force is spending like a week on a song and then sending it to him. He's like, not very good, is it? And he'd be like, "Oh no," he didn't like it. So you go back to the drawing board. But at the end of the day, some of the songs that got on the album were the songs that he didn't entirely like straight off the bat, though. So you got to stick to what you want to do. You can't just take someone's opinion. You got to do what you do, and then if they agree with it, then fair. And if not, then you listen to advice as well.
How did the band get its name? If I'm correct, was it originally just called Mutiny?
Yeah, it was just called Mutiny at the time. We had to change the name for legal reasons when we got signed. There was another band called Mutiny. There's probably hundreds of bands called Mutiny. And the label said, it was on a Friday. They said, "Hey, Mutiny's taken, so we've talked to them, and they won't allow us to use the name. So I was like, okay. He said, well, we need a new name for Monday to register it, so we don't have to set the schedule back. So we spent the weekend looking around, and a few people suggested Mutiny Within around us, and we kind of liked it. Mutiny Within is kind of like kind of means internal strife, which again, like going back to the lyrics, is kind of what people seem to take out of my lyrics. So it all seemed to fit in. It was like, Mutiny Within was cool, and also the old, I guess, Mutiny, when it started out, played a lot of like things like Bodum covers and other Finnish bands. So it was a nice sort of fresh start, because although we are the same band, we're not the same band. We have a different sound. Half the lineup's changed since back then. So it was nice to make a fresh start and say, hey, this is the same band, Mutiny Within, and then sort of go forward from there.
Now let's get back to the present. Looking back, do you think you guys, or have you recently on your last tour, do you ever bring out some of the older tracks with the old singer, or do you do any more of the Finnish metal covers at all, like whenever you go touring?
No, we don't do any of the old songs, to be honest. Like I said, with the album situation, we wrote 50 songs, but we probably had about 70 songs, including the old songs. But we picked the best songs for the album, those ones we play live, and we didn't see the point in keeping the songs that weren't worth it. In some ways, it's not good to recycle. So why look back when we can move forward, really? And also, to be honest, I'm not a big fan of Finnish metal, so I'm not really into that. But yeah, I doubt we're going to go about that. We get people asking us, because when we were Mutiny, we had a song called Breaking Bark, which was pretty popular, and people say, "Oh, you're going to put it on the album?" And we just, basically no. It's that was kind of Mutiny, and now we're Mutiny Within. I mean, we don't look back and think, we're not embarrassed about it. It was cool. It was really cool at the time, but it's kind of a different band now, so it'd be like covering another band. So we said we were never going to do that.
Right, and speaking of looking to the future, what are your goals as a band and you personally for this whole Mutiny Within?
Well, I think the first thing, and we've tried to be mindful of the whole time, is not trying to fit into a scene or get stereotyped into a kind of some particular subgenre. I think we play metal across the board, no matter if it's death metal or whatever. I think we got a little bit of that in there. I guess people say power metal sometimes, which is not really my thing, but people say we've got influences by that. Fair enough. I think we're just going to carry on doing our own thing. I mean, we're obviously mindful of what the fans are going to want, but we just want to do our own thing, not really fall into any different categories, and we want to build up our fan base and just tour, really. I mean, we've already started writing album 2 now, so hopefully we're going to have a similar sort of 40 or 50 songs to go into the second album with. I guess that's going to be in a couple of years' time. So yeah, we're just excited to see what the future holds, really. Hopefully get a few cool tours over the summer and come until Christmas, and then go over to Europe and hopefully see the rest of the world. So that's really going to be a really exciting time for us.
I just have one more thing. I'll give you the last word. Do you have anything that you would like to say to the Mutiny Within fans out there?
Yeah, I'd like to say thank you so much for everything that you guys have done. We're a really new band, and we've been trying to get the word out, but there's only so much we can do to get the word out, and the fans, you guys have really got the word out for us. So many people come to shows saying, hey, I heard about you guys from a friend, and people spreading the word out, that helps us so much. So please continue to do that, and thank you so much for buying the album and supporting us, and come and see us when we tour around your area.